Say something.
Hey,
Oh, great. You're not in a wind tunnel now.
dude, that first link, I was like, nothing. I was like, oh, it's going to do this for a second. Then I ended it, and then I don't know what happened on your end.
Yeah, I was talking to you, and then the second one, you were in a wind tunnel. So,
Oh.
yeah, there's that. So, this is going to be... Ready to tell them what movie we're watching? Or we watched?
Captain America, the first Avenger.
Yep, it's only taken a couple months for us to make this.
It's alright. My dumb self almost said the Winter Soldier. Because when I think of Captain America, I think of that movie.
It's great. Kyle's not hitting life right now. That's fine. You know. Depression.
Wait, you didn't like the Winter Soldier?
That's not what I said. I'm talking about the issues we just had that you don't know how to use the search bar on Netflix.
Oh.
Devin, I was really trying to rework the entire schedule because you didn't know how to use the search bar. Do you understand the point of life I am right now?
Yep.
I want to run full force into a brick wall, but I know that it won't kill me. My luck, I'm going to break through the Kool-Aid Man and have to pay for a wall.
Dude, that'd be dope. Do it.
I don't have the money for that. I don't have enough money for therapy.
Oh, man.
Poor boy, nobody loves me. I get no sympathy. Easy come, easy go. That's all the lyrics I remember. I'm going to be honest with you.
Oh, man, this caffeine is hitting.
That's great. I don't have any caffeine right now. I should probably get something because I haven't slept in over 72 hours.
Bro, Monday night was so bad. Let me tell you something. I was doing so good, right? Not having any soda for like 2 or 3 weeks, you know. Just drinking water, some Gatorade Zero. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But then Monday night, my roommate wanted to go eat at the pub, which is that bar, one of the local bars down here.
I know what a pub is, Devin.
Well, that's the name of it. The pub.
Is it an actual bar?
Yeah.
And then it is a bar, not a restaurant.
Well, they have food too, like actual like food. It's like a
bars
bar.
Have actual food, Devin.
Huh?
Bars have actual food, Devin.
Oh, well, anyways, he asked me to come pick him up because he had one too many, and I was just like, "All right, bro, I got you." No, wait, he's gonna go get food, and I was like, "I'm coming to get some food too," and I just stared at a giant bottle of Coke right across, right, like I don't know what it was. I looked at that menu, I was like, "Yeah, let me get a Coke." I just destroyed that Coke.
Okay, well. Unlike Captain America, I typically have a very high alcohol tolerance, and I drank last night, and I don't feel it. I didn't feel it last night either.
How much did y'all have?
We just got a couple drinks and all caught up, but we were all tired from driving and everything, so a lot of them called it quits. I drank the most out of anybody, trying to be the life of the party, and everyone went their own ways. Now I'm just here, sad, alone, because people keep canceling on me, Devin. You know?
But did y'all have fun at the wedding?
We did. Devin didn't go. I had no wingman.
Well, you had Kid.
Yeah. Let me go with my group of introverted friends to a wedding to pick up chicks, Devin.
I believe in him.
We were both ready to dip after the Vulcan mind melting, Devin. I'm being honest.
That wasn't at the end. I thought that was at the end.
No, like the reception. That was at the ceremony. I've never seen that before, and I have studied Catholicism. I was raised Southern Baptist. I went to a Methodist private Christian school. Dude, I studied Herod's Temple for at least 5 years, and I've studied some Judaism. So this wasn't first for me, but I have seen Star Trek. So
Wait, what's Samantha's nomination? Is she Methodist too or Baptist?
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. After the wedding, I don't know. For the wedding, I was a little on the fence. Maybe she's either Methodist or Southern Baptist. Yeah, but her brothers liked me. I was initiated the family after being interrogated about Pokemon. Like Will does, and then I watched one of them play Breath of the Wild, and they claimed me as family. And then we bonded over the fact that Dynamite played, and the only thing any of us could hear out of the three of us was we came to dig, the Minecraft parody, because we're all nerds.
That sounds very lovely. Our friend's in a cult. I just can't process this morning. Our friend's in a cult.
Yeah, I've known that for a while, but I didn't believe it till now.
Hope he doesn't drink the funny Kool-Aid.
I don't know what to tell you. They got the Vulcan mind melt, so maybe they're good. All right, Devin, we need to talk about the movie.
I can only see it, and I'm just like,
dude, it was a weird wedding. I got trapped in this weird love triangle. And they're all dudes, so I'm very confused. And I don't know how I landed up here, but it seems to be that the people that are attracted to me most are gingers, and that's all I know.
That's weird.
It really is. Very weird 42 hours or 72 hours. I don't remember.
Dude, who are you telling? Yesterday, my mom's not feeling good. My car was at a fucking antifreeze. I mean, effing out of
antifreeze. You can cuss on this podcast for the last time, Devin. I can't keep reminding you every single episode, though.
Dude, I'm just so used to the random hour where we try to stay PG.
Well, more sports, too. You need to put a link in that, by the way.
Yeah. Dude, dang, my darn antifreeze ran out. Mom's sick with actual COVID. Like, it's bad.
It's okay. I mean, it's not an cold. All right. So the movie we watched, if you guys weren't able to understand from the 8 minutes and 35 seconds of rambling, was the Captain America: The First Avenger 2011.
Yeah, 2011. I keep thinking it's 2012, but it's not. You want to know something weird about the movie?
I keep thinking it's 2010.
Me too. 2010 or 2012. You know what I find interesting about the movie?
Barack Obama?
No, the Harley Davidson ads for that movie.
Okay.
But the fact that Harley Davidson was a sponsor for the movies, and they would do Captain America ads, because even on one of the new comic books, or, one of the new comic books I bought when I got down here, there were 2 ads. I think I told you about it. It was a Harley Davidson Captain America promotion and a Green Lantern movie promotion.
Well, you did know how the Harley Davidson kind of came about. It came about in World War II.
Did it really?
That's Davison DD 618. It was named after Lieutenant Commander Gregory C. Davison. Davison actually specialized in torpedo boat operations. I'm looking it up.
Oh, you're looking it up?
Yeah, because I want to be sure. Because I do have a product placement thing I want to talk about, but I didn't notice the Harley Davidson one.
Now I know that's like Harley Davidson. I knew was one because of the bike he uses, but I honestly forgot about it until I was like, I was reading that one of the old comic books I got, and it was just Captain America Harley Davidson ads. I was like, huh.
Yeah. I think that was just a ship though. Yeah, most of this is about Davidson TD618. I do know that in a lot of the scenes, you'll see Captain America, like when he's in outside of the time, he's wearing Converse because Converse was actually what was issued for soldiers during the war.
Yeah.
So I'm moving around. There's a lot of it was issued as boots. It was the shoe back then. I didn't really notice this till I was marathoning Godzilla because there's a lot of Converse in there. And I was like, I'm looking this up, and then I started watching Captain America for the podcast, and I was like, wait a minute. But it was a big shoe back then, and it actually got its start in World War II. More you know.
Huh. Oh, just power.
But here's some stuff. So in the time frame this happened, they use the word punk in the movie.
You say punk?
Yes.
Okay.
Bucky calls Steve a punk. Okay.
Yep.
Now don't say New York. Don't win the war till I get there. And he calls him a punk, and then they hug.
Yeah.
Okay. So in that time period, punk was slang for effeminate man, similar to sissy or twink. So Bucky basically called him a Steven. So.
Did you look that up, or did you just know that?
Which one sounds better?
Which one sounds better?
Yes.
Are you talking about the headphones?
No. Which of the two options sounds better? You know what? I'm gonna own it. I look up random things because I'm a nerd and I like learning things. I try to learn a new thing every day. I actually just Googled that one day to learn it when I was marathoning the series.
I'd rather be called a punk than a twink.
Well, here's the thing. Back then, that it was the same thing, basically.
Ah.
Like, twink didn't exist until Twinkies came about.
Twinkies.
But no, punk was also referred to the genre of music because you had guys dressing in, like, that fashion, you know?
Oh, yeah, black fingernails, jean jackets, the whole 9 yards.
Well, I was thinking tight pants, makeup, big hair, lipstick, like Kiss and all that. That they were seen as punk because they were putting on makeup and all that. But with the popularization of the music with the youth, punk became less associated with effeminate men and more of like hardcore metal music, you know?
Yeah, it's funny you should say that. Did you ever watch the there's a Green Day documentary. It's newish. They talk about that.
I haven't.
I'll have to find it. I'll have to find it and send it to you. It might be on YouTube. I think it was something Spotify had put on their YouTube channel. I'll have to find it for you because they talk about the whole. That's what they first started talking about. Is the whole punk rock movement being formed in the 80s and stuff.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
This is actually the. Did you know this is actually the 5th live action version of Captain America?
It's the 5th?
Yeah, the 1944 serial Captain America, the 1979 television movie
All right,
Captain America.
the television movie I know is bad. They're bad.
Okay, well, let me finish. The 1979 sequel to that movie, Captain America 2: Death Too Soon, and the 1990 film of Captain America.
They're all very, very bad. I've seen clips of them all.
I know, I have too. So, another fun fact, John Krasinski and Ryan Phillippe were both considered for the role. Sebastian Stan and both Chris Pratt actually auditioned for the role. Krasinski's wife, Emily Blunt, who also was up for the role of Peggy. And she was also, I think, also up for the role of Black Widow too. But she turned them down due to scheduling conflicts. And Black Widow she turned down. I forget why. I think she didn't want to do it. Chris Evans turned this role down like 3 times. He didn't even audition though.
Really?
Yeah.
And they gave him the part?
Yeah. Because they wanted him to do it. That's why.
Oh, they wanted him to do. I mean, I could see. I mean, he didn't do it. What are you here? I know we're kind of getting in too deep. What did you think of his performance in the movie? Or better yet, we've watched all the movies. What do you think of his portrayal of Captain America?
I like it.
Okay.
I will say my favorite Captain America is one of my favorite Avengers, but I think the animated Earth's Mightiest Avengers, the series, I think that was my favorite because it shows the Cap like stuck in the past, like brilliant tactician. Live action actually becomes difficult. Sometimes I realize that because you can't portray all aspects of the character, and you kind of get this idealistic version, you know.
Yeah.
But typically, I think he did. I don't know who I would count. I do think Captain America is more. Into where certain things are different to the point where comic Captain Rod. This is a very different. I mean, Bucky because obviously, Marvel and Disney, you know, want to support child's soldiers, but they combine like two. I don't know. Steve had a friend. You should like save him from scrap, like Bucky did. And they combined the two for the show, and that's where you get like from schoolyard to battleground.
Yeah, I remember you sent me that TikTok, and I was like, huh. But no, I didn't.
What are you talking about?
You sent me the TikTok about Captain America's gay friend.
Yeah, because you asked for a bunch of you asked where were there ever gay people? I sent you a whole list, and you said please stop. But dude, like because we were in a discussion. We were discussing how would Captain America take things in, you know, like in our world, because you got a lot of people who. Okay, I'm gonna get very political real quick. Okay.
See, this is what. Oh, well, here, go down your road. This is what I think about the movie and the performance, which surprised me. But go ahead.
Well, you get a lot of people that idealistic America, like he embodies the ideals of like the picket white fence. He embodies the American dream, but America isn't that way. He's what America should be. Steve Rogers is.
Yeah.
But hold up, I'm thinking. I had a point, but you threw me off.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Remind me real quick.
Oh, we were talking about Captain America's gay friend who helped
I
him.
got it. Shut up.
All right.
Before I lose it again. So basically, you get the ideals of America, and this Captain America is kind of a fan favorite amongst certain groups. Do you condone these groups, Devin?
Say that again.
He's supported amongst certain groups that aren't good. They're right wing groups that, like, oh, Captain America's Christian and
I thought he was Catholic.
Shut up real quick.
Okay.
Let me finish before you say something, because it's one of those things where I'm getting into deep territory. I need you to watch what you say, because you're going to cut in without hearing everything, and it's going to sound really bad. Okay?
All right, continue. Sorry.
But he's being supported by racists like the KKK, which is a bit problematic, because they're kind of agreeing with this ideal of it's one of those things where they're supporting something without understanding it completely, because Captain America would not be for this. He's only had 2 sidekicks, and the only person he's ever given the moniker to willingly was a black man, because he realized it wasn't the Captain America that people needed. It wasn't the Captain America that the world wanted, but it's one that they needed. You know?
Yeah.
It was one that would break barriers, and I guarantee you, like, I don't know about comic book wise this exactly, but if you found out about in Falcon the Winter Soldier, I forget his name, but if you found out about how African soldiers were treated during Vietnam, using the super soldier serum, he would have probably go full U.S. agent or nomad much earlier, abandoning the moniker and not taking it up until he thought it was completely necessary for the American people. At least that's what the comic book version would. I don't know. The MCU version is much more self-centered, fighting tooth and nail for the familiar bond of his friends, which I will admit, like, completely, like, neutral. I'm tackling this. It does have queer coding. For that, thanks. I understand. That person that thinks our friend.
That's what some. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought you were done.
Well,
I see a lot.
What are you talking, or am I?
You talk. Sorry.
I was gonna say, in the tavern scene, the song that's playing when the Bucky and Peggy meet is a song that it is about a gay man who loses his crush to a dark-haired girl like Peggy. It's called "There Is a Tavern in the Town." Like this movie does a good work with undertones, and a lot of, okay, if you change the genders of Bucky or Steve, like one of them to a girl, I guarantee you would have some very romantic undertones.
Oh.
Yes. All right, Devin, I'm going to give you a chance to talk, and I'm not going to interrupt you.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so
We just went down the deep rabbit hole of Captain America's character.
Listen, I typically get very deep on these rants, like very sociological and political. What is your take on that?
See, here's my thing. All right, so in the comic version, all right, this is where I'm just like Captain America, which is similar, right? So in the movie, in the comics, he's an Irish immigrant background, right?
Yes, both his parents are Irish immigrants. He's, I think, a first-generation American.
First-generation American. Because I remember in the comics, what's the name of the villain that has like a machine gun arm?
Do you know how little that narrows it down?
This is gonna bother me because it's a famous.
I guess.
Which one?
Deathlock.
I'm gonna say it's him. He's a big old white dude. He's got like the American flag paint on the side of his face. He's got like a machine gun arm. He's one of Captain America's villains. This is gonna bother me because he was a racist villain. He wanted to eliminate all immigrants, and Captain America's like, oh no, we can't do that.
Was it Hitler?
It wasn't Hitler, but he wasn't. The guy was a
secret Hitler, which is actually something that happens.
I feel like it was secret Hitler because he had blonde hair, blue eyes.
No, it wasn't secret Hitler. He attacked a KKK member, which was apparently running some type of organization, and then it was revealed when he punched off the hood that it was somehow Adolf Hitler, and obviously that didn't make sense, timeline wise, considering he was like in the 70s.
Conspiracy theory. But no, in the movie, which I think they did a little bit things differently.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I feel like this Captain America was just like, hey, like as the movie's going, he's like, hey, America is is this.
Yeah, he had the American ideals, like the American dream in mind. And then would you say he, like, as the series progressed, he kind of saw like the man behind the curtain, like in Wizard of Oz?
Yeah, because that was the big plot in the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, like Hydra. I mean, we haven't got there in this series. Bad guys were there.
But no, I mean, like the way they did him in the MCU, he said, "Hey, I'm here for my friends, and this is America."
See, Captain America is one of my favorites, and I enjoy him in the MCU. I really do. But I can recognize the good and the bad in it. Like I can understand this is a very watered down version.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, he was watered. I'd say yeah, because he didn't. I mean, obviously, they didn't focus on like the big things with Captain America, but it was more like, hey, let's dumb him down because they know they made him a leader of the Avengers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like I want to kind of say he was more like a father mentor type in the comics, depending on the run.
Yeah.
Especially with Bucky, and I did find the note about Bucky and the gay friend. You want me to read it?
Sure.
In the comics, Bucky wasn't the one to save him from scraps. He was a gay friend of Steve's. Bucky was originally a Boy Scout, found out Steve's identity, and Steve recruited him. Obviously, the MCU didn't want to include child soldiers. We will ignore Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, Peter Parker, Wanda's kids, the Red Room, or the leader of the Flag Smashers. Other than that, the MCU has no child soldiers.
Yeah, no soldiers, man. No child soldiers, man. That's where we crossed the line.
None at all. Not a single one.
We can't even have a drummer boy.
Listen, we don't even have the X-Men, so they're good on child soldiers.
Yeah, that X-Men everybody wants, not coming yet. Can't do it. Can't cross that line.
The reason is we're waiting for them to mature.
Hey, that would be kind of cool. I hope they do take that route for the X-Men movie.
put them in an egg incubator, waiting for them to get. Oh, you're 18 now. Let's go fight a war.
No, man, kind of. I'm trying to think. How do I word this? So you know how in Spider-Man they just skipped his Uncle Artie being shot and he learned great power comes great responsibility?
Yeah.
I'd rather what they do with the X-Men, I'd rather they like age them up a little bit, like, hey, we've already been doing this like under the radar.
Okay, we're gonna take a commercial break real quick because I just realized we're at 30 minutes, okay?
Alright, but and we ain't even talked about the movie.
Now, I'm gonna need you to do me a favor, and I need you to hold on to that thought because I have thoughts.
Oh, about the X-Men?
Yes, I've been thinking about how they could redo the entire MCU.
Alright, we'll go on that right after the break.
Okay. So,
Alright.
The way they can introduce them is they start out with older mutants like Logan or Wolverine, Magneto, back plot stuff. Do like a secret invasion thing where they're on Shield's radar, but it's super, super like close to the chest. Like 4 people know about it. That close. And then they do that whole shebang, and then you have like exposition. Like the X-Men have been going the entire time, but you guys did. They've been secret spy soldier stuff going on, like in the background. Like they're stopping world-changing events, and you didn't know it.
That's what I'm saying. I said just start. I'd rather take that route. I mean, we kind of, you know what I mean? Kind of how they did Spider-Man. They're kind of like, all right, he's been doing it. We've already made 2 versions of him, so we're not going to give you a 3rd.
Yeah, they're still killing off Batman's parents.
And Uncle Ben's suitcase is right here in the corner.
Not anymore.
Wait, what happened to the suitcase?
That's a story for another movie. But here's a fun fact for you, Devin, about the movie. They wanted to get cameos of Lucky James, aka Wolverine, and Magneto, but they couldn't get the rights. So Lucky James was actually originally in the Howling Commando, and then they just thought he was very lucky because he never got shot, or if he did, like he was somehow protected by God. Like that's how they saw Wolverine, because this man's getting shot at, like running full force into like gunfire. Just got bullet holes in his clothes. They're like, this man's really lucky.
Yeah, anyways, X-Men Origin Wolverine, that's like when they're in World War II, and they do what battle scene was the famous one where they get on the beach? Was it D-Day?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got him running through D-Day, and Sabretooth on all 4s, just leaping over the fence, getting shot up by machine guns. I'm just like...
Yeah. Dude, I loved that when that came out. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was like, Sabretooth was one of the coolest villains to me because I was like, animals. He's a lot like an animal. He's very primal and all this, and I was like, that is really cool because I always liked animal-based villains because I was a huge ecology nerd.
Yeah, that's all right. We'll talk about. I'm sure we'll get to X-Men.
Oh no, we'll get to that eventually. We will need all the prayers, and anything else you guys can throw at us, like good vibes, because we will need it to get through that movie.
I mean, that movie's it's got its good and its bad.
It starts out really good, and then you start going downhill, and you don't slow down.
For real, it's like a roller coaster. You go up, 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 and then fuck.
You plummet so hard, you can see Aquaman.
Dude, speaking of which, did DC Fandom already come out? Because I was seeing stuff about a new Aquaman cartoon.
I don't know. But I do know that Namor is in the works for possibly Black Panther, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
All right, so...
anyways.
Did you know they had 4 shields for this movie?
Yeah, the prototype is... Wait, hold up. It's the stage 1? the prototype, and the one he actually uses. Which one's the fourth one? Or are you gonna say trash can?
I was actually gonna talk about the circular one. They used 4 different prop ones for the movie.
Okay.
They used a metal one, a fiberglass one and a rubber one. The fiberglass and rubber ones were for stunts mainly, and stuff like that. And then the CGI one was used for like special effects. But the metal one was mainly used for like posing scenes and stuff like that.
Uh huh.
Because you know how I like to talk about stuff behind the scenes, like making it.
Bro, I'm starting thinking of the movie. I'm like, well, there's the classic shield. There's the prototype shield.
Dude, do you really want to get that? How many shields? How bunch on that table?
I know he did. He said, here he goes, Captain America, we like your shield, but it's trash. Pick one off this table.
Well, it had a giant, like, fist in it, like you were trying to fight a wall.
He said, your shield? Gone. Pick one off this table. And Steve just looks at him. He's like, what about this one covered up in this bag? No. That's no good. It's a prototype made of the hardest metal on the planet. It's not ready.
I just put some paint on it. It'll be fine. I want to know what paint they used.
Wait, can vibranium not stick to paint?
Well, here's the thing. It's a vibranium shield, but no matter what, that paint job is still sticking up pretty well for all that wear and tear, you know?
Oh, yeah, that is one cool... Dude, that is right. That is one big thing about the movie. The shield does get damaged throughout the movie.
No, it doesn't get damaged. The paint does. But
that's what I mean.
The paint barely gets a scratch because it's the American colors. And we don't want to explain why it's not getting wear and tear that much, but see, we added a little wear and tear here. Stop asking questions. Gosh.
It's accurate. It's accurate. It's comic book accurate.
Well, actually, it would be an alloy of vibranium and adamantium if it was comic book accurate.
Yeah. But you know, Marvel Studios, they were still trying to figure it out back then.
Well, they didn't have the rights for adamantium back then.
Really? Oh, yeah, because Fox.
Well, yeah, they also didn't have the rights to, like, make a cameo of Wolverine, like, charging on D-Day. And then they didn't have the rights to just have a small boy move, like, metal objects in the background in a concentration camp.
Nope, can't have that. All ours.
But, something I loved about this movie, so apparently Chris Evans and Sebastian Stan are actually both the same height. And they use the camera tricks. You know how I like talking about camera tricks. They use camera tricks to make Evans appear bigger and have a bigger physique and double teamed, like they did in Double Teams. But they did it much better, and they didn't have him just stand in boxes.
God, I don't ever want to talk about Double Team. There's 2 movies on this podcast I don't want to talk about.
You know that's coming out the day we're filming this, right?
Double Team?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was art. Okay, I thought it was already out.
Yeah, it is. It came out today.
Cool beans.
Because remember, we filmed in advance because your football schedule?
Ah, that's right. It's
All
like
right,
in the random hour. I'm like, we ain't filmed a while in the random hour, Kyle. I'm just like, Kyle, we ain't filmed in a while. You're like, dude, we filmed like 20 episodes.
Yeah, remember when I kept making you film episodes with me and you kept complaining? Now we don't have to film them because we've saved up in advance, like mature adults.
Oh, I thought we were trying to do more. I'm just like...
We are. We're doing once a month for the random hour, which also posted today. And I was surprised to find two listeners have already watched it before 7 a.m.
Which episode is it?
Nerd Test Extravaganza.
I need to go listen to that one.
Yeah, you're not in it because you refused to film with me.
I'm still going to listen to it.
So I did a bunch of tests online without you because we couldn't do the original script.
But okay, anyways. Back to the movie.
Yeah, we were going to do... I forget. We were either doing riddles or we were doing Would You Rather originally, but you got too angry, so I just left and went home. Back to the movie. The floating car. Would you like to guess the tech?
Stark Tech.
Well, that was on me. The bar was on the floor.
It's like that meme. Name 3 characters from Rick and Morty. Mom, dad, sister. That's on me, man. I set the bar way too low.
But no, it's actually early stages of arc reactor tech. To use to make the car float.
Really?
Yes. But no. That was on me.
He said, that was on me. I set the bar a little too low.
I should have expected more. But I would like to proclaim as a nerd myself, okay?
All right.
Bucky Barnes is a nerd.
How so?
The last night in New York, and he goes to a science fair.
I think they all want to go to a science fair.
Well, yeah, but he got super excited about seeing tech. And like the way his face looks in scenes, it's very obvious like he's having much more fun than both the girls he's with and Steve. This man's geeking out, my guy. Like I was watching facial expression because I remember seeing a TikTok about it, and I was like, I'm gonna rewatch this for this podcast anyway, so I might as well pay attention to this. And I was like, oh my goodness, this guy's a geek. This man's nerding out, and I'm like, I can't say anything because I do. I just haven't found anyone to drag to museums in a while, and I'm too scared to go to museums because of a pandemic. But man, just a heads up, from my experience, don't take girls to museums.
What if it's a really nerdy girl?
It hasn't worked for me yet.
Thanks, Kyle. I'm gonna write that.
They don't care about rocket science as much as you think.
I'm gonna write that down. Do not take Megan to museums.
Okay. Good. As long as I can help you there.
Oh, did I tell her she got a brand new car?
No.
Guess how much? Yeah, she got a brand new car. Brand new. Guess how much her down payment is?
An arm?
That's a good value, yeah.
Hold up. I have people on the black market. Give me a minute. I'm texting a guy.
You're texting a guy?
Yeah.
That's a good value.
So about 4,861.
I mean, she'll pay that much up front eventually, but no, it's like $500 a month. That's her down payment.
Yeah, that's a little high. I mean, Kelsey pays about $350.
Is her car like a 2021 though?
No.
Yeah, no, Megan's is a 2021 Nissan something. It's an SUV van. And she apparently got a good deal because she traded in her Jeep.
I like that Jeep. I want to get a Jeep.
They're not good on gas, I'll tell you that much. But no, they're good travel vehicles.
You're right. Your ring finger is worth $5,556.
Oh, great. So if I'm desperate, I'll sell my finger.
Your thumb's $18,217.
You know, maybe I don't need my thumb.
Index finger is $12,724.
But no, anyway, back to the movie. See, Steve, I think Steve would have liked that stuff, but you know, they were focusing on his character. He just wanted, be a soldier, beat up bullies.
Well, he wanted to do the right thing, like do the American thing. Like he didn't think what was right was being to the Jews was right. Do you know what kind of makes me mad about the movie, though?
What makes you mad about the movie?
And it's not just this movie; it's World War II movies, okay?
Uh-huh.
and we're probably going to get a lot of hate for what I'm about to say. Just a heads up.
Oh Lord, all right.
But a lot of how Germany modeled a lot of stuff after us. Like Nazi Germany modeled a lot of stuff after us, and like we're a very Christian country, and at the time of this, we were very segregated, not just of people of color, but of religion. Jewish people were being denied jobs left and right. He was very impressed how we segregated the Jewish people, and so he did a lot. Not to mention the whole like Hitler's salute is actually how we salute the flag in America.
No,
Yes.
no, you gotta show me some evidence of that. Ho.
You know, I have, but it seems like every 2 years you forget what I tell you.
I'm gonna have to relook through some old stuff.
Yeah.
But anyways, continue.
But oh man, hold on. The arm, hand, foot, shoulder cost is about $19,464.26 on the black market. My bad.
You're good. We already went on 8-minute rants. I think we're okay to go off the topic here for a minute.
Okay, but a lot of it was modeled after how Jews were treated in America, and I wish more movies would highlight that, because yeah, we've come a long way in the civil rights movement, but it doesn't mean we don't have a lot more to go. But we kind of need to acknowledge what we went through and that we weren't always the best. Like you can still like claim yourself to be proud to be American, but you kind of still need to like acknowledge that yeah, we've done some messed up things. We have room for improvement, but let's hope for this Captain America, like hope for a better America and push forwards for it. I wish there was more World War II movies that highlighted a lot of the problematic stuff.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it would get brushed under the rug. I listen to a lot of history podcasts about like World War II. Oh my goodness, I'm a dad. I listen to a lot of podcasts about like the Holocaust and all that, because I like learning things, and a lot of them talk about that, but I've never seen a movie talk about it. Like Marvel was started as like a mainly Jewish company because they were being denied work everywhere else, and that's kind of how Stan Lee and them got their start, because they couldn't get jobs. And then we've come so far, like even Superman was modeled after Jewish people.
Unless his creators were Jewish.
Yeah, like the whole like Jewish girl, the blue eyes, all that was modeled.
In the comics, I know this is like random. In the comics, is Superman Jewish or is he Christian? Or does it they don't stay?
I don't think it matters, Devin. But he was modeled to be Jewish, surrounded by Christians. Okay.
All right, following.
Which is why him being black would be similar on par, because we've come to the point in our nation where white's white,
Yeah.
Media is surrounded by Jewish people, and we're starting to do that with gay people, to where it's becoming more acceptable and they're being less beaten and torn down and discriminated against. There's still a lot of it, but they're being less, and the movies and media do have a lot to do with that, because they get them in the public eye, and once you get them in the public eye, it becomes more commonplace and it becomes more accepted, and less discrimination they have something to relate to, like that was the whole point of Superman being Jewish, realizing that there's a marginalized group with all this power, and instead of hurting people, you help people. That's like the whole point of the X-Men. That was the whole point of Superman. And I think we lose sight in the fact that at the end of the day, we're humans, and a lot of these, like, at these end of these big fantastical battles, we're humans at the end of this, coming out of these scraps, with these like life altering, like death defying, like horrible events in these superhero movies. They're humans. Like, I like characters like Ant-Man, Guardians of the Galaxy, and the Suicide Squad. They're highlighting on, yeah, these aren't perfect people. They've got a lot of issues, but
oh yeah, that's like, I think Marvel, their last Ant-Man's a good example. Ant-Man's the one that I'm glad you said Ant-Man. That's like, I think they kind of, especially Marvel, they show which I remember there was a documentary I watched about that actually. It's on Disney Plus. What's it called? It's that Marvel one. I think it's Marvel 616.
Mm-hmm.
And they talk about how they were like, well, as a comic company, you know, back then DC and all them, they were like, oh, your main character's Mr. All-American, he's perfect. So we purposely designed our heroes with flaws. And the MCU did good with showing, you know, Iron Man's alcoholism, or, you know, he makes mistakes. Ant-Man's another good one. Like, oh, he's not perfect, he was a thief.
You know what I noticed with watching all of like Captain America's movies?
What's up?
He gets the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah, way too much.
You get to see him kicked in the chest, like panting for breath, like, fuck, I've got to get back up because somebody has to keep fighting for what's right. Like that's what motivates him at the end of the day. But
oh yeah, he's got good motivation. Even in the first Avenger, he was just like, he's like, bro, I gotta keep America safe.
Like I think we talked about this with Suicide Squad. I forget what, which I know we've talked about it on this podcast, and I know we've definitely talked about this on the Random Hour. The X-Men, like we're both big X-Men fans, but the X-Men do a good job at white coding minorities, okay? And then later introducing more like international minorities. The way the X-Men are set up is you get like, oh yeah, they're like me, but they got powers.
We did talk about this in the Random Hour. I forget which episode. I remember.
I think it was Suicide Squad, but that's not important. But it's like, yeah, here's people like you. Boom, orange juice. They don't have rights because they're weird. And as a kid with ADHD, like freaking geeking out over monster movies and dinosaurs, I'm like, I relate to this. And I was not blind to like the whole human rights situation going on in the background. I'm like, man, this is pretty political. And I'm like 5, and I'm like, I'm realizing there's similarities between stuff that my mom and dad are watching in the news and this. And I think it was the gay rights thing going on when I was like early 2000s, you know, like I'm sitting there playing with my toys and I'm like overhearing it, thinking about the X-Men. And I'm like, that's a lot of the similar issues. That's a lot of similar issues with the civil rights movement. And we got a very whitewashed version of that down in the South when we were educated. And I did a lot of research because I was a huge X-Men fan and I wanted to know more about it. Because I understood there was political issues, and I understood there was stuff going on in the world that related to this, but I didn't understand how yet. So I did a lot of digging and I wanted to understand it, and I realized that a lot of this is mirroring our worlds, and they were trying to, you know, like get you to sympathize with these people that have it worse than us.
That's like in that documentary. I think it's called 616 on Disney Plus. You gotta watch it. That was the whole point of the X-Men, was to show minorities in the MCU, or
Yeah,
not, you know what I mean, in the comics, to show people, to
marginalized groups.
yeah, marginalized. Thank you, that's the word I'm looking for. And even Stan Lee, I can't remember. Actually, right before Stan Lee passed away, he posted something on his Twitter, or all his social media platforms, because yeah, it was during the whole racial thing, about 2 or 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, Captain America for an example, because that's right, one of those radical groups were like, Captain America wouldn't stand for this, and Stan Lee just lost it.
Was it the gay thing or the black?
It was the black. It was the black. It was them. It was that. It was one of those extreme racist groups.
Yeah.
That's what it was, because they were always carrying around Captain America shields, and one guy had a poster.
Well, I know he had they were having similar issues with Punisher. I think we've also talked about that, where he kills people and then cops and military have that skull like plastered all over the place. Like, yeah, we're big fans, and then they're like, no, you shouldn't be. He's taking the law into his own hands and killing people. And then they even wrote it into the comics to make it abundantly clear. But in 2020 and 2021, I'm going to be honest with you, that skull is plastered everywhere. And it's, that TikTok trend of, I understood the assignment.
Yeah.
They did not.
They did not.
Like, I got the assignment with the X-Men, but whoever gave the reading for the Punisher, I can tell you the rest of the class didn't read.
They didn't read the Punisher.
But,
that's a good one.
We're going to bring up, I got like 3 more points, and we should probably start wrapping up and talk about the other stuff.
Yeah, no, you're good.
But he said a similar thing with Captain Cold. Not Captain Cold. Yes, Captain Cold in the Marvel Universe, Devin. You're familiar with that, aren't you?
Dude, I missed that part of the movie.
Oh, okay. But no, Iceman. Iceman came out as gay, and he was confronted about it, and he goes, look, I wrote that character a long time ago, and if I find something new out about that character, I'm happy. That's good. If it can relate to something that can help people today, that's what's important. And he basically shut down a bunch of homophobes.
Yeah, that's like, I remember reading. I don't know. No, I don't have that. I didn't have that issue of the X-Men, but I remember. It was when
we were in Hazel. We were in Hazel when we found out, and I remember us talking about it. And you didn't. I'm not going to throw you under the bus here, but I am going to explain some stuff. You didn't understand why they would do that, like, because he was historically like straight, like he was a ladies' man, and understandably you were a bit confused. And
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, go ahead.
But I brought up, you were like, well, what if that turns people gay? Because we're broke out at Christian University. I only knew as much as I did because of all the extra research I was doing.
Hey, bro. I was watching something yesterday. It was something dumb on TikTok. Oh, it was something dumb on TikTok while we were waiting at the mechanic, and I showed my dad because my dad thought it was funny. It was the guy and a girl. It was trying to shut. They were trying to. It was like how to shut down homophobes.
Yeah.
And it was like the straight country dad. Don't go near that girl, Jenny. You'll catch the gay. And the daughter goes, Dad, that's not how it works. You can't catch the gay. And he's like, what? It was something crazy. You made me think of that TikTok. It was talking about how you shouldn't homophobe people, but it was a little funny. I gotta find it.
But basically, how Devin's, you didn't come from like a very like well-educated area, correct?
Yeah, I wouldn't say Carolyn's like extremely educated.
But a lot of the resources was like, oh, they can turn you gay, and I brought up the subject of like, yeah, I don't think black people should be in media. Kids turn black. And you were like, that's not how that works, Kyle. And I was like, you don't say. And you were like, oh. And we ended up talking about that for like a good 30 minutes. And then, like, I think we both came to the conclusion that diversity should probably be in media because it helps people that don't typically get representation. Like, I didn't see an ADHD character until I was 23, which is a couple years back. And Devin, I know you don't like talking about this, but you have CP. Have you ever seen a character in media with CP?
The Shazam movie is the one I can think of.
That is true, because a lot of the times we don't get a lot of representation that is positive when it comes to stuff like that. Like, a lot of the times I know with ADHD especially, a lot of times disabilities get used. Oh, you're only useful. The only time something like this is good if it's useful. Like, if you can help people, that's the only time this is good. And I wasn't raised the best, and a lot of those tones came into play. So a lot of that came to me, and then you know how I'm like binge watching Teen Wolf, Devin, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you, that is some of the better ADHD representation that I've ever seen.
Oh, side note, I don't know if you've logged into my Hulu. I've started watching Sword Art Online 2.
Didn't you already do that?
I finished only the first series. I was like, I need to start on 2, but then I got distracted by other stuff, and I was like, I'm gonna put it in the back burner.
Okay. But I've got 3 more notes. I feel like we should kind of change tracks back to Captain America.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So, fun fact: Stanley Tucci, the guy that played the scientist. Would you like to guess why he wanted to be in this movie?
America.
He's the German scientist, Evan.
Again, he loved America. No, why do you want to be in it? I have no clue.
Well, this is actually a fun reason. Completely honest with you, this is something I would do. Stanley Tucci wanted to join the film because he wanted to work on his German accent.
That's not a weird flex, but okay.
He's just like, I just want to learn this skill, you know? Fun fact, Steve's body double also appeared, you know, the one that he used before the super soldier serum. He actually appears in the bar scene as the bartender.
Yo, see, that to me is the coolest thing about cinema these days, that we can do that.
Yeah, but looking back at it, with like watching this before Avengers Endgame and then after, I was like, this is not as good as I remember. Like, it was good at the time, but looking back after what we've seen in the MCU so far, it's like a funhouse mirror, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's like, that's why I'm starting. That's why I was telling you, we need to watch Daredevil and just laugh at the bad. Like, well, I'm sorry, I think
the schedule, but we also got to get through a bunch of stuff on Netflix. But somebody keeps forgetting their computer.
No, I'm just saying, like, we need to make that comparison of how lucky, like, these new Marvel fans have it versus OGs.
Yeah.
That had to sit through the bad.
Okay, Devin, I got one more fun fact for you.
All right.
The first Captain America comic appears in the film. It is Captain America #1, which came out in 1941.
Yep.
All right, Devin, that's all the notes I have.
You know, remember that's what I brought. You remember oral communication? That's what I brought in for our first project.
I thought you brought in. Oh no, I'm very sorry. I do remember that now. I was thinking you brought in the Mario poster and then you ended up giving it to me. You're right.
Did I buy you the Mario poster? I thought I told you. Did I buy you it?
No, I think I bought it and I talked about video games. That may be what it was.
Is that what we did?
That may have been what we did. But Devin, I'm gonna go ahead and have us rate this movie. Okay.
All right.
So we rated. What did we rate Captain Marvel?
I know we rated it high. I want to say it was like an 18 out of 20.
I don't remember. But what are you rating this film?
I actually enjoyed this movie. I thought it was pretty good in the theaters. It's one of those movies where I could just watch it a bunch of times and not get bored. I like the Captain America movies as a whole because you just watch his character progress. So like it's a good starting point movie. So I'm gonna give it a. The only thing I don't like, and this is just me being picky because I thought it was just straight out of nowhere, was the romance between him and Peggy. I thought it was like just straight out of nowhere.
See, that's why I felt like if you could swap out Bucky for like a girl or Steve for a girl, just swapped out one of them, like gender swapped one, I'm fairly certain it'd be written as a romantic movie between the two of them.
I'm trying to think. Was there anything else I really hated? Red Skull was pretty good. The whole point with the tech arrest was pretty good. I enjoyed the side characters. The what were they called again?
Howling Commandos.
Howling Commandos. I've enjoyed them. I enjoyed the costume. Like I enjoyed the part where he went from being a sideshow to being a legit soldier.
Yeah.
My only complaint is I thought the romance was just formed out of nowhere.
Yeah, romance wasn't really a big thing for me in this movie. I kind of forgot. I always forget there's a romantic plot in this movie. I'm going to be honest with you.
Mostly, it's kind of carpet underneath the rug, but I did enjoy the fight scenes, especially how he threw his shield a lot. Remember he's in the hall, he's like, damn, I'm cornered. Oh wait, I have a shield. Just chunks that sucker. Ding, 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 ding. Just knocks out like 5 dudes.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
So what you thinking about giving this?
I'm gonna give it a perfect 10 because I'm not gonna take a whole lot away from the romance. That's just my only complaint, but I don't think it deserves to be a low score because of one little small subplot.
Would you say it's like a 9.5 then?
Yeah, let's go with 9.5.
Because you do remember we can give half points, right?
Oh yeah, let's do 9.5.
So I really like this movie. It's one of my comfort movies in the MCU, honestly. The things I don't like about this movie, I liked how it highlighted he was a tactician, and they kind of like slowly forget about that because the super soldier serum enhanced his abilities, not just like his body but his mind as well, which is why it was so important that he be a good person. So I really like that. The Howling Commandos things is a tricky subject for me because I have a stupid like hill I'm gonna die on. Okay, of the Howling Commandos, I wanted their own movie with like Nick Fury, like the original, and then like we find out like the Samuel L. Jackson one is the son of of the original one, and I want like the whole like Tropic Thunder thing going on with that.
That'd be pretty cool.
Like I really want, because I remember reading a couple comics, because I think those were some of the first like 20 like X-Men, Howling Commandos, and I think Fantastic Four were some of the first Marvel comics that I really got in contact with. And then I take that back, throw Thor in there because Thor was also in there, but I only had like one comic of him, two comics, with the Warriors 3. But I'm gonna give this. I want to give this like a 8. I can't really fault it for things I want that it didn't deliver on, but I really do like this movie, and like looking back, I have been spoiled with like some of the sideshow stuff, but I kind of want to give it like a 8 or a 9.5. I think I'm gonna give it a 9.5, Devin.
All right, so we're both on the same page.
Yeah.
So that rounds it up to a 19. Wait, am I right? 9 plus 9 is 18. Wait, 10, 0. Now that makes it a perfect 20.
I'm gonna let you. Devin, I need you to keep doing math real quick.
Hold up. I'm like, this ain't right.
And I'm gonna have you.
I'm an idiot. That makes it 19.
Very good.
I'm sorry. I was having a dumb moment. I was like, that's not 20.
The old math tutor in me is just like, screaming on the inside. All right, Devin, I'm going to have us go ahead and tell them that next Sunday we're going to be watching Hocus Pocus. Okay?
Well, okay.
And we're going to start a new segment. You guys are more than willing to jump off the bandwagon here. We will be talking about What If in the next segment. Feel free if you haven't started the series yet. We're talking about like the first episodes.
Yep, that's all that's released, right?
Yeah, as we're recording this, more will come out. Because I think there's like 18 episodes total. But we are going to be talking about that in the next segment. So feel free to jump off here. You've got the ratings. You've got what movie we're going to be watching next. So you guys got all you need to just leave this episode here if you need to, and you maybe come back, or just keep on trucking. All right.
You've been warned.
Spoilers ahead.
All right, on to What If.
All right, Devin. So first episode was Captain Carter.
Captain Carter, that's right.
What'd you think of this episode?
I enjoyed it actually. To me, it was a good opening to the series because that's a big what if.
I think we're both big fans of What If or of Captain America, so I think like this really suited our fancy. I
thought so, yeah.
Like it had. Did you know the Captain America not dying was actually a What If comic as well?
Really?
Yeah, because it originally had Cap and Bucky both dying.
It's okay. Did I tell you I accidentally from the comic book shop? The one time I went, I picked up a What If, and it was the finale. It was a What If story. What if Peter became Venom instead of Eddie? And I picked up the last issue without realizing it was the finale, and dude, let me tell you, that was a shit show.
Dude, at least you didn't get the What If You Were Spider-Man.
If I was Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Dude, that'd be dope.
You'd be dead because you're not Peter Parker.
Oh, you mean to tell me I'd die from the spider bite?
I shit you not, my good sir. That was it. Like, they had in a big What If series, one of them was What If You Were Spider-Man, and it was just a tombstone with you written on it. Y-O-U.
Just one panel. You.
What if I got you one better, another Spider-Man one. What if Spider-Man was bitten by a sheep instead of a spider?
Did you say a sheep?
You fucking heard me.
No.
If you could kindly Google that, and I will wait for your reaction. I think we all need to hear it.
What if spider?
I would like to just formally say this is burned in my corneas, and I cannot unsee what I saw on this one panel arc. Yeah, you got sheep boy. So it's the suit is wool.
I want I want that. I want that.
Tufts around the shoulders and like hips and the neck, and the arms and legs are this bluish black, and he's in a field surrounded by sheep eating grass, and Peter Parker has his face uncovered and he's munching on grass, and the grass is sticking out of his face.
The greatest villain, the wolf.
Like, this is a real thing, Devin.
I want this.
I know you do.
I want this now. Thank you. I'm gonna find this. You know this now.
I hope you do.
I'm gonna find. I'm putting this in my collection art now. I'm gonna go up to both shops and be like, I want this. Can you find this?
Listen, that was a real thing that came out in the comics. But we need to get back on What If. Okay, because this episode's are an hour long.
Alright, yeah, let's get back to I want this now. That's the next What If episode I want. I want the amazing sheep boy.
Like What If starts out, so you have Captain Carter. There were several things that this, like, small little details. It was like, they weren't both standing. Like, he was in the box with them. Things didn't add up. I get they had to move some things around to it. That was just so pretty. The judgment of was like, no, that things were lined up this way. My OCD was acting up, you know. Like when somebody moves something, I'm gonna sleep for a week because I don't know what's been moved.
I think this first episode was just I think it was I kind of agree with you. A joke. But I think it was like a good.
Wait, are we still talking about Sheep Boy?
No.
Okay. This first episode was like setting the groundwork, like, oh yeah, here we go, and then you jumped to like episode 4, and you got the hentai snap being swallowed me down the stomach and
Bruh. Okay, we'll get to the episode in a second. Or I'm about to say that episode to me. That was a good episode.
I like the idea of her just being yeeted through a portal.
Oh yeah, in the first episode she said, I gotta go.
And she's got that sword, and she... Okay, so back on the topic of World War II, there was a British guy who was like, fuck your guns. And then, do you know what he went into battle with?
A sword?
Not just that. A sword and bow and arrow.
Did he win?
Well, he came back alive, so I guess so, Devin.
Good, he won. That's all that matters.
Yeah, but it kind of reminded me of that, but I felt like her sacrifice was more justifiable than Steve's, because it was more collateral than I've got to do this. Like, there's no other way. Because we don't know if there was any other way. There could have been. You don't really know till you try. It's one of those things.
I'm not gonna lie, I laughed when the Red Skull got just swung out the window by the octopus.
So there's like this Marvel creature that like sidekick and took over the Marvel universe in just a weekend. And I thought it was gonna be it, but then it didn't like start psychically controlling Red Skull, and I was like, okay, I guess this is not it. Where's it? We've just got Tommy Ray's hentai monster up in here.
No, bro. I was like, an octopus? I thought that was random. I was like, why?
Oh, it was like an Eldritch beast instead of... Okay, so originally, like, Captain America's fought Thor because the Nazis summoned Thor. It was a huge thing. But I think in this version, they summon an Eldritch demon instead of, like, Thor or a Norse god, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I got from it. I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. We got Cthulhu official in here. And then I thought her like leaping through time was much more justifiable. Like, this made me want to watch like a whole new like Avenger series where you got the Hydra Stomper like 2.0 going off, and then you got.
Well, they said, I think Kevin Feige even said that they were making spin-off shows of the What If. If the What If did well, I think you could do one for that one for sure.
Yeah. Then you got What If episode 2. Apparently, a lot of people like this one. It's What If T'Challa became Star-Lord.
I didn't like it. Yeah, I take that back. It was all. I know we talked about this. That episode was just weird.
What made this is one of the stupid. I realize I didn't like this for stupid reasons. My thought process, what's going on in Wakanda then? And I realized I've got this whole big story here. But my thought, what's going on with Wakanda? And then they get back to Wakanda and it was like, oh, kind of ruined it. I was imagining Killmonger's back up in this bitch. Shuri's running some shit.
Nope. Everything's fine.
Instead of the White Wolf, you got Killmonger doing the White Wolf. You got all that jazz. I thought that was going to happen. It didn't. Like in a spinoff of that. But I will say, I think T'Challa brought out the better in people.
Yeah.
And I think that highlighted his character. But this is something I didn't like about it. So I realized they split T'Challa's character from the comics into Shuri and T'Challa in the MCU. I realized that because they're one character in the comics, but in this, they're split. So he's more the charismatic side, which I understand. I get that, but I was more curious in. Okay, so he had all that training in Wakanda. He doesn't have that here. How is it varying? How does he have the same skills though?
I thought they all had Panther. I thought because of that bloodline, they all had the Panther spirit.
You get infused with it with the root though.
Oh, but he never took the root.
Yeah, like those were the small questions I was having. I was just like, I know this is stupid to get hung up on like small details, and I could really enjoy this, but my ADHD brain is like going in overdrive trying to figure out plot points around those. But I do like the fact that he's Star-Lord and he's humble about it, and he does deserve. I do believe he deserves the title more than Peter Quill because he earned it. Because he did a full-on Robin Hood and was much less self-centered.
I just found it weird. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, Star-Lord, you're the best," blah blah blah, and then Thanos is on his team. I'm like, what?
He literally talked. Okay, this is what happens when you have charisma maxed out.
Like, charisma 100.
You literally talk down the big bad evil guy, and he ends up on your team as a playable character. Okay, we're gonna fly through this because we got a pretty long episode. What is episode 3?
I hated it. No, wait, I take that back. That's the Avenger one, right?
Yeah,
no,
this one's my favorite. I liked the idea, but I liked and hated the villain. It was Yellow Jacket as Hank Pym.
I liked it. I was literally trying to figure out who it is. I'm like, bro, something's not right.
I think he did. He's a very comic accurate Hank Pym in this, and he highlights a lot of the toxic traits, not just in the comics but in the MCU as well, that would kind of get brushed under the rug. But it made perfect sense, and I like the idea of I wanted to be an adventure. Okay, like the way I think see him like taking the place of Thor.
I did too, and then he's like,
the ruler of. I was just like, oh, I mean, not really half money of you, okay?
But you know what bothered me? is I'm surprised Hank Pym killed Black Widow. I was like, that's not right.
Well, wasn't that right?
I just think Black Widow could kill Hank Pym.
You don't what?
I think Black Widow could kill Hank Pym. I don't think she should have died.
Well, that was the point. He was so small that no one was noticing.
True. That's like the way he accused Hawkeye. I was like, bro, Hawkeye shot on purpose. And I'm like, wait a minute.
No. But like the whole thing with Hawkeye is he never misses. Like he's that dedicated. Like I will say, I'm gonna save it for Avengers when we get to it. But episode 4, we need to start wrapping up.
All right.
Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands.
I thought that episode. I actually enjoyed this episode.
I did too, but it made me realize how fucked up this character is, and it kind of it made me realize he hasn't had character development.
Okay.
Like it just shoved it in my face. Like I was like, oh, maybe he's had character development. There's a lot of stuff off screen that we don't know, and then you got the whole like Spider-Man Far From Home clip, and I was like, okay, I'm helping his case there, and then you got this. And I was just like, fuck. This man hasn't grown up since he was 5. Like, if I'm not mistaken, him in the comics is a lot more mature. Like, he's grown into his title.
Yeah, and here, I just feel, and here he's just like, oh, I lost my loved one. I'm bringing her back.
But
which is all good and all, but then you had the ancient one just split him in half.
I will say, like, my rank, what would you rank these in order as how you like them?
I actually enjoyed episode 3. Episode 3 is my number 1.
Okay.
Because I enjoyed the mystery in that one. Episode 1's my second. 4 is my third. And the second episode, I don't like it.
See, my order is 1, 3, 4, 2. I feel like those small little plot points were getting me hung up, like, because but the reason I would put, I do want to put 2 higher, and I imagine it's going to move up higher as we go down, like further on, like in this tier, because it's not a horrible episode at all, even though we both rated it, but
it's not, it's just weird.
The reason I know why 3 is rated so high is because it's not made like an MCU. It's made like one of the one-offs animated movies for the MCU.
Yeah, that's what we had talked. That's how I felt too. I was like, I feel like this could have been its own movie.
Like it felt like Marvel's Ultimates. It felt like.
I have those movies on DVD. Did you ever get those on DVD?
Not on DVD. But it felt like one of those where it fit into like an animated movie, but with the characters, but it wasn't strong-arming you into this universe. It was like, oh, Avengers are assembling. It was like that, but they're a bit fucked up because they're dying, and it wasn't bad.
No, see, that one made me curious on who they would recruit because he called Captain Marvel, and he's starting to get Captain America out of the ice.
I will say 1, 2, and 3, I would love to see spin-off series of. 4, I don't care for a spin-off series. I think it's good as it is.
Oh, you know what I thought was cool? He was the only one to see the Watcher.
Yeah, because he got to the point where everything was dead.
And he's like, bro, help me. And the Watcher's like, nah.
All right, Devin. I think that's the end for right now. Let's recap. We both rated it, Captain America, the first Avenger, 9.5, getting it, how much?
A 19 out of 20.
Yep, and then next Sunday's movie is Hocus Pocus.
Virgin.
So what would you like your last words to be on this episode?
America.